everybody. I am Hot Chocolate all over the world. Glad to be in your world today. It is such an awesome opportunity for you to take this journey with me week after week. We're going to go from good to great. That's what we're going to do. We're going to develop our talents. We're going to know that we're entrepreneurs, that we're called to create great things in spite of obstacles. We're not going to quit anymore. All this is going to happen through this show. This show is really about you. It's more about you than it is even about myself because this show is your opportunity to grow into your greatness. That's what this show is about. It's about finding out what did God really have on his mind when he called you into existence. What are you supposed to create? Who are you supposed to become? What part of the world are you supposed to affect? I'm going to help you get there and understand there's a story to be told along the way. I'm here to tell that story. I'm here to inspire your story. I'm here to help you get up and keep going. I'm Hot Chocolate. I am your greatness coach, if you want to call it that. We're going to grow together. We're going to change together. We're going to develop together. Let me tell you, everybody always wants to know, why you call yourself Hot Chocolate? Well, that's part of my story. It didn't come from a stripper pole. It didn't come from a crazy place. It actually came from my struggle. In case you hadn't noticed, I'm a little brown skinned. And growing up in the 70s, people did not, and still some don't, accept you for the color God gave you or created you or put within you, birthed through you. And so growing up in the 70s, I was called black, I was called ugly, you just too dark, all of this stuff. And so I had a fabulous, until I was 14, a fabulous great-grandfather. Not my grandfather, but my great-grandfather. I called him Daddy. And Daddy loved him some hot chocolate. And he used to call me his chocolate gal, and he and his sister called me Hot Chocolate. And so when God delivered me from low self-esteem at age 19, and see, at that age, God let me know that I was fearfully and wonderfully made. Every color he created was the right color, along with my color being included. And he taught me how to love myself to the point I had to pour that love into others on a greater level. So when he did that, I made a decree. I made an agreement with God. I declared to him that I would use my life as a spokesperson for his greatness and encourage others to love themselves. One of the ways I agreed to do that was to call myself Hot Chocolate because that was my first name that gave me the affirmation. Even at age 3 years old, when my great-granddaddy started calling me his chocolate gal and Hot Chocolate, it let me know at 3 years old that maybe there's not something wrong with me. Maybe I really am a pretty girl. Maybe, this dark skin stuff is not as bad as those around me are telling me. So when he gave me that name of affirmation, Hot Chocolate, I hold it today. And it's not for me anymore, because see, I know the greatness that's inside of me, but my name is for you. Whether you're male or female, my name is to inspire greatness in you, is to help you to accept the color you are, the height you are. You may have a deficiency somewhere. It's not to keep you stuck when you need to grow, but it is to help you to develop and to celebrate who you are. So I call myself Hot Chocolate because you're Hot Chocolate too, whether you're white, brown, green, or yellow. Everybody has a story of overcoming an obstacle. So I celebrate the name Hot Chocolate because it speaks of who God created me to be, and it inspires you to be who you're supposed to be. So my show, I'm excited about this show, you guys. It is to inspire the greatness in you week after week after week. People follow me on Facebook. On Facebook, I use more of my name for now, and that's Melody, Melody Sheree, Sherra. And in parentheses, Hot Chocolate. I used to have Hot Chocolate in the name, and Facebook saying that wasn't your name and all this stuff. So now you see Melody Sherra, Sherra. But wherever you follow me, whether it's on Facebook, on my radio show, wherever, you will hear me inspiring people to their greatness, because that's my aspiration every day. I understand that every day God gives me is an opportunity to grow, to expand, to become my greatest self. that God did make a mistake when he made me, and he did make a mistake when he made you. So this show is about you. You're going to hear stories. You're probably going to see some tears shed sometimes. You're going to see me run around the studio sometimes. And you're going to see me sit, talk, listen, hear that person's story, inspire them to tell you their story, and see what they've created so you can go out and make something big happen. That's what this show is about. So week after week, you know, when you've watched the news and everything has been bad and depressing and has you kind of down, come right here. This is your happy place. This is your place for inspiration. This is your place to find your greatness. This is your place to celebrate you. You say, well, nobody's ever given me a party. This is your party. Nobody's ever celebrated me. This show celebrates you because it inspires what God has placed in you to be better, to be bigger, to do it in spite of. Some of you have been hurt. You've been talked about. You've been abused. You've been mishandled. You've been judged incorrectly. You may have even made some mistakes that you now regret. But today is your day because God gave you today. And he allowed us to connect today and to meet today in this moment so that you can know how great you are. So that's what I'm here to do. I'm here to tell stories. I'm here to inspire greatness. I'm here to find out how did they get there. You know, because we see the glory of things. But have you ever wondered how it happened? What's that story behind that glory? Well, I'm the person to find that story and tell it to you. Why? So that you can stop making excuses. So you can know that you can do it. So that you'll believe in yourself on a greater level. Because, see, I believe in you. And I don't have to know you to believe in you. The reason I can believe in you is because I know God does. And so I'm just his little servant running around this world telling everybody, hey, you're great. Hey, there's something bigger in you than what you see. You may have fallen. You may have failed. There was a time in my life I didn't know how to finish anything. Yeah, I didn't know how to pull the greatness inside of me. I was doing everything. You know, if you're creative, you know people. You may be one of those people. They just doing everything. I didn't understand how to be purpose-driven. I didn't understand times and seasons, so I was just all over the place. But because God loved me, he spoke to me. And he showed me how to remove the glass ceiling from my life and how to focus and how to finish and how to have a real story that I can share and inspire with someone else. I was loving God, but I was all over the place. I was doing this. I had a restaurant one time. I had a boutique one time. I was writing poetry over here. I was doing a little bit of this, because I was like, I have all these gifts, so let's just do it all. I didn't understand how to sort it out. I didn't understand how to progress. But I understand it now, and I bring that understanding to you. Again, I'm Hot Chocolate, and we're going to have a great time. Every show is for you. Every show is about you. Every show is to inspire you. So I want you to take the journey with me week after week, time after time, on your lowest days, your highest days. We're going to have victories together. We're going to come out of slumps together. We're going to overcome together. We're going to climb some mountains. We're going to come out of some valleys together. That's what this show is going to do for you. When you've heard it all and you've been at work and you're tired, or your kids got on your nerves, or the news was not what you wanted it to be, you're going to come back to this place. And you're going to say, where's Hot Chocolate? You know, I want to get in that world. That's why it's Hot Chocolate all over the world, because I am a part of your world. And you're a part of mine. And we're going to tell these stories together. And we're going to work through some stuff. We're going to come out better. We're going to come out loving God more, loving ourselves more, and loving the world more. The world is going to begin to see our best selves. That alone excites me. They're going to see what's really inside of us, how we can really move things, how we can make others' lives better. That's what this show is about. I'm here to inspire you. You're not going to be comfortable on this show. You're no longer going to be stagnated because of this show. You're not going to be stuck anymore. You're not going to be depressed, and there'll be no more excuses, because you're going to say, if they can, I can. If they can do it, I can do it. If they can be great, I can be great. If they found their passion, I'll find mine. If they found their identity, I'll find mine. If they're walking in their destiny and operating in their purpose, I'm going to do the same. That's what Hot Chocolate all over the world is about. So stay with me week after week. Tune in. We're here for each other, and we're going to grow together. Again, I'm Hot Chocolate all over the world, and I can't wait to tell your story. I may never meet you face to face, but I know that you have a story. And I know that somewhere in a crack or crevice of some story I'll tell with somebody will be your story. And you're going to connect with me. And we're going to grow together. And we're going to change together and blossom together. And you're going to soar. You know what I'm saying? You're going to spread your wings. You're going to find out who you are. And you're going to do life on a greater level. You know, so many people wake up and go to bed depressed. They have a smile here. They have on fancy clothes. But inside they're tore up and tore down. And that's not going to be your story anymore. And I understand that a lot of people live that way. But my show is to let you know you don't have to continue to live that way. We've all had valleys. You know, I told you some of mine growing up, being ridiculed for being dark-skinned. And so many other obstacles God has allowed me to overcome and challenged me to overcome and assisted me in overcoming. Couldn't have done it without God. And then he placed the right people around me, including my husband. Hey, husband. Had to put that little plug in there. You know, but God has a way of bringing people into our lives who inspire our greatness. And my husband does that. But he just came into my life. There have been people along the way that he's had. And then when there was nobody, God allowed me to know that I was somebody. And I could encourage myself like David talked about. I learned to encourage myself. I've had a great mom. I've had great family support through my friends. Mind you, through my friends. And through those around me who've grown to love me and to know me. But most of all, I found out what was inside of me. I found my own diamond. Most of the time, we're looking to buy somebody else's diamond. But there's a diamond inside of you. And this show is going to dig it up. Yeah, this show is going to remove the dirt. And it's going to help it to shine. I promise you. So please stay with me every week. We got a lot of stories to tell. And I can't wait to tell a story that's going to inspire you. Because I promise you, God has so much more for you than where you are right now. I do radio, and I tell my listeners all the time that there's so much more than where they are right now. And I think sometimes that makes people say, huh? But, you know, my life is already good, or I'm already 50, or I'm already 70, or I've experienced this already. What else could there be? There's always more that God wants to share with you. There's always more that God wants to make happen for you and with you and inside of you. And I'm here to stir that greatness. So thank you for tuning in every week. I'm thanking you in advance because you're coming back. And you're going to be searching me out, you know, trying to, where's Hot Chocolate? What does she have to say this week? Because every word is to inspire you. Every word is to promote you. Every word that I say is to celebrate you and to make you uncomfortable where you are. That's part of celebrating you because I'm not going to leave you where you are. So this journey is our journey. We're going to do this on a greater scale. We're going to do it week by week. We're going to do it until we get it right. You may have fallen before. We've all failed before. But we get back up over and over. And one day you won't fall in that area anymore. So this show is for you. I'm Hot Chocolate. Stay with me all over the world.
Hi.
Hi. Patience. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
Your time is gonna come. Your time is gonna come. It's up to you to reach out to be that friend who comes along. Your day is gonna come.
When you make a friend, you make a difference.
Your day is gonna come.
Friendship. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
When you can't do it all, do what you can. Caring for others. Pass it on. A message from the Foundation for a Better Life.
TTEN.
Thank you for coming back. Thank you for joining me again. I am Hot Chocolate all over the world. And I just kind of want to tell you more of my story. Like I said, This show is going to tell stories of triumph, stories of I made it in spite of. You know what I'm saying? I remember a few years ago being stuck, and some of y'all are going to relate. Hot chocolate was stuck. I mean, like stuck like glue, as they say. I was totally stuck in my life. I knew I was talented. I knew I was gifted. I knew God had a purpose, but I felt like I was just stuck. I was going through the motions, smiling and blessing people, but in my mind, I'm like, I felt like I was just on a wheel going nowhere. And just kind of making it through life, seeing some victories here and there, but not really going anywhere. And I was in my garage one day, and I heard a voice from heaven. He said to me, "You don't know how to finish." And I was a little stunned, probably a little ticked off, like, excuse me? All the things that I'm doing? He said, "You're doing a lot, but you're accomplishing nothing because you're not a finisher." And he said to me, this is what God said to Hot Chocolate. He said, there are a lot of people who love God, but don't know how to finish anything. And I was like, wow, I'm one of those people. He's like, you're one of those people. He said, what have you really finished? You started a book. You started a boutique. You started a restaurant. You started a poem. You started an opportunity. But what have you really finished? Because this is why you're feeling like you've not accomplished anything. So I had to face my own demons. I had to really come to a place of surrenderance. And the first thing he said was, you need a mentor. Well, I had a pastor. I had a mother. I had friends. And now you're telling me I need a mentor? He said, you need a mentor. You need someone to be accountable to, who's going to challenge you differently to grow. So he had me to go and find this guy that I did not know, who was a network marketer. And he had me to follow him and his training for 3 solid months and not miss a class. And I think he did like 3 classes, maybe sometimes 4 per week. And I'm saying, you want me to what? He said, I want you to submit to his training and be consistent if it's raining, be consistent if you're tired, be consistent if it seems boring. Not only do I want you to go to the classes, I want you to take notes. I want you to be all in, Melody. And I did that. And that was my first lesson in consistency. And it was a short period. He said, you just do it for 90 days. But it seemed like 90 years because I didn't realize how out of shape I was with finishing and being consistent. But I did it. And I felt so accomplished, and I learned some stuff. I was challenged in some new ways, So I went through that training, and one thing led to another. And then he told me, being self-employed, as I was and still am, I was sleeping to 10 o'clock in the morning. I know some of y'all can't relate to that. But, I said, I'm self-employed, I'm stretching, getting out of bed at 10 a.m. I'll go and do what I do when I get ready to do it. And that was another error on my part. I realized I wasn't fully invested in my own career. So I had to stop doing what I was doing, the way I was doing it, and I had to start getting up at 5 in the morning, like I was going to 9 to 5. I got up at 5, I got up at 6, and I would grind, I would work, I would pursue all day. Whether I made money or not, I showed up on time, and I gave it my all. I was putting in 12 to 16-hour days versus doing 4 hours here or 3 hours here or missing a day. You know what I'm saying? So God showed me how to become a professional finisher. So I'm sitting here with you today because I have a story. And I really honestly wanted to bring some of my awards. I promise not to celebrate me, because my husband just talked me into unpacking these awards from the past few years, because I just put them in boxes. I get them out of mail and I put them in boxes. But I wanted to bring the awards to show you the fruit of what consistency can look like. Recently, I was given an award for Producer of the Year. I do life insurance. Then another award I was given for being in the top 50 or the top 30 or, top 100. And I I promise you, within the last few months, finally put the awards on the shelf because my husband said, you need to do that. And it's not that they didn't mean anything, but to me, they just represented the fact that I learned how to finish. I learned how to finish. So that's what this show is really about. It's inspiring your greatness. And I say that because I've had to do it myself. I've had to say, you know what? Get up, Hot Chocolate. You can't quit, girl. You can't let what they're saying bother you. I've had people to walk out of my life. I've had people to walk into my life. I had people to celebrate me, and then all of a sudden they don't like you. I've had losses. I've had gains. I've had surprises. I've had mishaps. I've had all that. But I'm here to tell my story because I survived it, because it developed me. It gave me some tough skin. It helped me to love in spite of. It helped me to, most of all, understand that there was greatness inside of me. I just had to dig it up. I just had to become a finisher. So you can't make me quit now. You know, there are things that I found in business that were not good for me or that didn't really work. I had to at least try it to find out. But for the most part, the umbrella of my life now is to be a finisher as an entrepreneur. First of all, as a servant of the Lord, you know, of our Lord and Savior. I had to learn how even to be a better servant to the God that I serve. In doing that, I became a better daughter. I became a better friend. Now I'm married, and finishing is everything in my marriage. I'm devoted to that, as well as to my career, as well as to the people that I serve, you know, as well as I am to ministry. And all of that makes sense now because I'm no longer all over the place. My life is streamlined. It's purpose-driven. That's why I'm talking to you. And that's why I can inspire greatness in you, because I have been all over the place before. I know what it's like to quit stuff. I know what it's like not to finish, not to cross that finish line. I know what it's like to make mistakes and have to get back up. So I think I'm a little qualified to help you along your journey and to help you to be inspired by the story that's written for your life. Because there's a greater story than what you've seen. There's another page to be turned. There's a book inside of you. You know, there's a discovery. There's an invention. The world is waiting for you. It's inside of you. This show is going to unlock it. So every time you think of hot chocolate all over the world, you think of greatness. Every time you think of hot chocolate all over the world, think of, I can do this. I can make it happen. I can try again. I can try differently. I can invest in myself. You know, I'm created for something bigger than where I've been. So that's what hot chocolate all over the world is about. It's here to meet the needs of those all over the world. And that need is to walk in their purpose, to pursue their greatness, and operate 100% in that destiny. And most of the time, people don't really operate in their purpose because they don't know what their purpose is. If I asked you, you probably don't know. But I promise you, you will by the end of one of these shows, if not all of them. You're going to begin to look at your life differently. You're going to begin to examine yourself. You're going to begin to realize, hey, I've got something bigger than where I am right now that's going to spring up in my life. Somebody's waiting on you. You know, somebody needs your story. Somebody needs you not to quit. Somebody needs you to become a finisher. I couldn't sit here and talk to you today if I continued to quit, if I continued to start and stop. You know, somebody has a book on the shelf, half written, probably you, and you need to pick that book up, you know? You need to finish that app that you were developing. You need to go and do what it is you're called to do. And don't be afraid or even ashamed if you don't know what it is you're called to do. Again, that's why I'm here for you. That's why you're going to come back here every time. That's why no matter what you hear and how negative the news is around you and all the madness going on in our world today, you're going to know I got to get to hot chocolate all over the world. I can be inspired. I can be uplifted. I can change with her. Because I'm going to grow right along with you. You're going to see interviews get better. You're going to see me get better. You're going to see me present new things to you, new opportunities, new discoveries. We're going to do this together. This is our show. Hot chocolate all over the world. It's about you. It's not just about me. And remember, hot chocolate is not just my name. It is indeed a challenge to know and love yourself on a greater level. Every time you hear hot chocolate, rewind this and go back to why I said I call myself hot chocolate and be inspired with me and know that, hey, there is so much more for you than where you are right now. Yeah, that's what Hot Chocolate All Over the World is about. And I am so thrilled to be a part of your world. I feel honored that we get to hang out together, that we get to do life together, that we get to grow together. We're probably going to cry, as I said before, together. Tears of joy, tears of release. We're going to change together. Most of all, we're going to operate in our purpose, in our greatness together. You and me. This show right here is for you. Hot Chocolate All Over the World. Please tune in week after week. Find me on Facebook. On Facebook right now, it's Melody Sheree. S-H-E-R-R-A, Melody, M-E-L-O-D-Y, just like the music, Sheree, S-H-E-R-R-A. In parentheses, you'll see Hot Chocolate. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. I'm here for you in a lot of different ways, in a lot of different arenas. But most of all, we are going to grow together. Hot Chocolate All Over the World. That's going to become part of your world, part of your life. We're going to be inspired together. You know, I was not always sure of all that I was supposed to accomplish in life. And it was not until I became a finisher that I understood how big the platform was that I was called to. And I say big because I realized people needed me just like they need you. And I had to stop and I had to analyze myself and grow in myself to understand that personal development, it is a must. Personal development is a must. Going to church, that's part of personal development. You know, whatever church you choose to attend, knowing people, having a mentor, engaging with people, growing with people, changing, all of that's part of your personal development. Reading, studying, and coming to this show, personal development. So please understand that I'm here for you week after week. Hot Chocolate All Over the World. We're going to tell some stories. We're going to grow together. We're going to be inspired together. Greatness awaits you. It awaits us. We're going to get better together. How about that? When you think of hot chocolate, remember this. We're going to get better together. Hot Chocolate All Over the World week after week. Let's tell a story that's going to inspire your greatness. Please tune in next time, and thank you for being with me now. Bye, y'all. I'm Hot Chocolate All Over.